Well, it looks like some actual Confederate militia and Confederate citizen sympathizers have taken and actually captured the arms depot here in Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri. We're actually going to be playing as General Lyon here in one of the smaller battles of the Civil War, but we are hopefully going to come out on top. Now, in the actual Battle of Wilson's Creek, my friends, what happened was actually a Confederate victory. We're going to try to make this, of course, a Union victory, change the course of history in this battle at least, and I hope that everything is going to go just fine. So first of all, we've got the frontal Confederate line ahead of us here. I'm just trying to take a look and see where that victory point is, and it's going to be right there. So that's the victory point we have to reach. Pretty straightforward. I'm not seeing any others. Let's push forward with the Union. It looks like this may be one of those battles that we actually get into immediately. I'm not sure if that's the case. Also, if I'm not mistaken, guys, did they not increase the lines here? I think they did. Looks like they actually increased the battle lines a bit. We are going to have to advance. I'm going to try to advance like this. And let's call it, boys. Best of luck to the Union. On the move. It's going to take a while for our army to actually approach, but once we get there, we will return. I like to see that our guys are reloading first, and then they're going to advance, but without a doubt, they have added more men here to the lines. I love it. Let's prepare for battle, boys. For the Union. So we're going to do a little bit of a different approach over here, and what I'm going to do is actually take Dietzler, Colonel Dietzler, and I'm going to put him on this side of Gibson's Mill, while the rest of our guys go ahead and attack forward. This way the enemy won't be able to flank us across the actual canal, number one, and number two, we'll have an alternate attack route in case these guys don't do so well. So Dietzler is going to head over there. Best of luck to him. The rest of our boys, we really just need them to pretty much proceed on ahead. And see how things go. Alright, folks, let's get into the fight. You can see our boys slowly but surely arriving to the battlefield. And at this point, we're just waiting for them to get into position. We're waiting for first contacts. And then we're going to get into a serious fight here and hopefully knock the rebels back. Looks like we're going to have to readjust our actual army, guys. And the reason being, the enemy fell back a bit here. We also have a beautiful uphill position that we could take if we just move now. So I'm immediately going to readjust that line. Although... unfortunately, and I'm still new here, I also readjusted the line over here on the left side under, not Mitchell. So we're going to have to actually zoom out and find the general's name, the specific general that's commanding these guys on the left, and that's going to be Dietzler. So with Dietzler, I am going to return there. That's really where I want to be with Dietzler, on this side of the river, whereas for the rest of our guys, we can slowly but surely actually push them up here. So let's just focus on pushing them up separately and specifically getting on top of that hill so that we're looking down at the enemy. In fact, I moved these Union boys up separately, the 1st Missouri Infantry, just to make sure that we get that uphill position and the wooded area here and hopefully engage any enemy cavalry that are going to be arriving. But remember, their victory point is much farther back, so maybe they may decide not to engage until we're right up close and personal, honestly. Of course, we're going to have to get the courier orders out here to the men, but they will begin to move forward. And, oh, it looks like they may be spoiling for a fight. Let's see if these rebels have some fight left in them. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely approaching, if I had to guess. Definitely going to be approaching. All right, they're going to give it to us, boys. Let's keep pushing forward. Yes, I'm going to micromanage a bit. We're still waiting for the rest of our boys to push forward into position here. I'm going to take this infantry, and I'm going to try to... No! I don't want them doing that. I don't want them to readjust that way. I'm going to move them forward, and I'm going to do it at the quick step. They should have a separate quick step button from the charge button, but we'll accept it for now. And just push those boys forward, essentially trying to get a nice firing line against any approaching Confederates. Remember, this is a smaller battle than what we're used to, so if we can do some serious damage to you know, actual manpower here, cause some serious casualties, maybe we come out on top every time. I don't know. Yeah, those trees are not the best thing for us, but we'll have to deal with them. going to get the courier soon there, and then he will readjust. And in fact, we'll let these guys go over here. I may have been better to put them over here in the woods. I'm going to do that with this unit on the right. This is our smallest unit, the 2nd Missouri. Let's put them over here. You can see Missouri was very much a divided state. This battle shows that. Where essentially militia members did seize the state house, or not the state house, excuse me, the state armaments locations, and basically got a lot of weapons for the Confederacy. So we are the Union soldiers sent, the Federal troops sent to stop that. And that's not an easy task. These guys are well armed, and they're spoiling for a fight, that's for sure. Now, I like that the 1st Iowa are arriving as well. I might put the 1st Iowa here on this side. In fact, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to order a charge just to make sure they move as quickly as they can. Plans change, right? We were originally going to put most of them here, but I'm just going to take a few of them and set them up here. And look at that. Absolutely, the Confederacy is getting closer. We're going to be in combat very soon. Let's commence firing. We're going to target Hunter's cavalry here with artillery. We're also moving this artillery a little bit closer. And I think almost for sure we're going to have to make the first move here. We're going to have to probably push before the enemy decides that this is a fight worth having, because they could just keep falling back continually to their existing victory location. So let's go ahead, push forward with these boys, just get really to the edge of the forest there, trying to increase our chances of actually getting a shot off. Let's do the same over here with the U.S. infantry. We're going to push forward, although I'd like to push kind of something like that. I don't know why our artillery's not firing. There we go. Just as I said it, it looks like they got their wits about them. And it looks like we can actually see the burning wick there as he lit the cannon. So again, improvements in the way the artillery shows up as well. I like that, guys. I like that a lot. These guys are going to be joining us as well, don't forget. And if we want, we can cross with these guys. Once not Lions, but the other commander gets into the defensive position, we can cross the river with that group and maybe hit the enemy from the flank. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Come on, boys. Get into position. Get ready to take out some rebels. There we go. We've got our boys crossing. We wanted to put them right there in the woods. And this is just one unit. We could have moved the entire group here, but I do want some men staying over there across at the creek, just keeping an eye on what the enemy's doing, what they're up to. Oh, we are so close to being able to open fire here, guys, on Peyton's cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative here. Come on. I didn't want to go that close. But now that we've committed to it, let's do it. Forward, boys. We should really focus all our fire on one unit, so I'm going to focus all on Hunter's cavalry here. We're also arriving with an additional infantry unit. He should be able to help. I'm actually going to have him take up the original position of those men. Let's go, boys. Give them hell. Fire at will. Fire at will. There we go. Now we got a real fight on our hands. Oh, we've got a nice charge on our hands. That's not what I intended at all, but the men are going to go through with it, and so be it. Fire at will. There we go. Look at that. That's a real battle line. What we have to worry about, though, is that flank attack is going to be damaging. So I'm going to push over there. Also trying to get the rest of these infantry, or the rest of this infantry in contact. Let's push up to Peyton's cavalry. See if we can't do some serious damage. I think we need to grab these fellows. And we need to go ahead and try to get a flank attack on the enemy here. We're going to try. I don't think it's going to be easy at all. Just a standard advance. Come on, boys. For the Union. Don't charge them. Just fire. We are crushing that central line. Although this guy is not moving into position where we wanted him to. For the Union. Send these rebels back to hell, boys. That's what they get for trying to take a federal armaments factory. Unacceptable. There we go. Our first line absolutely breaking. We need to try and focus our fire on Peyton's cavalry here. And these are truly brothers fighting brothers. Missouri against Missouri. Well, it's basically Iowa and Missouri against Iowa and Missouri. Fire! Gonna rain hell on them, boys. Now again, not sure what caused that change right there in the center. The game is still very much in early access, we know that. But I don't know why suddenly they decided to switch from firing at this guy to firing over here at this guy. Nonetheless, what I really want to happen is I want these guys to actually get a shot off here at Peyton's Cavalry. That group will be moving pretty soon. And while we're at it, let's push these guys over here and start focusing on the infantry up the hill here. In fact, I'm going to try to hit them with our artillery here. We'll switch fire. Yeah, I'm going to fall back to the woods. See if that works. It very well may not. But look at that. So this side is readjusted. We totally smashed the Confederates in the center. I'm not even going to reassign their positioning. I'm just going to start firing because that messed us up last time. So let's just fire. There we go. Look at that. We've got them trapped. We've got them trapped. If only these guys would fire as well. What's wrong with you guys? There we go. They're going to charge. They're going to make it a charge. I'm going to stop them right there. Beautiful. That's what we needed, guys. One volley completely breaking the enemy. That's the kind of result we need, and I think it's a huge improvement on the combat previously. Finally, these single volleys, these single major volleys are making it possible to break the enemy. Oh, man. Got to worry about those guys there up on the hill. Let's immediately turn our attention over there to them. And I think our Union men here can focus on the rest of the Confederates. Come on, boys. Our men are being chewed to bits here. And, of course, fighting up a hill is never a good idea, but we don't have much of an option. Let's take a look. Can't forget that we have to take this location over here by the road. We've got to take the wire road, and we got to take this location over here. So we've got a lot of movement to do. I'm going to let our boys beat up these guys a bit, and then we'll, of course, push over here. In fact, I'm changing Dietler's orders. So we're actually going to do this. Just push forward with him over here and start advancing on this location. We don't have all day. Well, we do have all day, but we're trying not to take all day to complete the battle. Come on, boys. Still got that artillery coming in. That's what we need. That's what we need, boys. But we need you guys to push forward and keep advancing on the enemy. Might as well push these guys forward as well. Why do they have to go through all that hullabaloo to get there? It's because they're in the other group. They're in this guy's group. Here we go. Come on, man. One nice volley could wipe out that entire left flank on the enemy side, but they absolutely have the initiative here. They can fire first if they'd like. See, they're already firing. They are already firing. Come on, let's get one volley, boys. Let's get one volley, damn it. My goodness, withering fire there. There we go. Return that fire. Don't let them break us, boys. Don't let them break us. In fact, we're going to move up. Yeah, we've got to move forward here. We need some more shots. Absolutely need some more shots here. Make sure that all of our artillery is focused on that guy. Another thing I've noticed is the artillery takes longer to load, but it does more damage, which is just great. Thanks for sure they're making very good use of those weapons they stole. Very good use of those weapons they stole. on, guys. Just going to try to manually move forward. And as you can see, they're already breaking. They're already breaking. It's just going to be a nightmare to actually take that location. Maybe we just need to ignore it and keep pushing with the rest of the army. Alright, the rest of our army is advancing, but look at that. What a group of rebels. And that's a lot of Confederates to deal with. It might be that we do need to wait for the rest of the army to take them on. Maybe we just need to go ahead and deal with this guy first. We'll see. We need to get a proper volley here, and hopefully we finally are able to get one. Come on, boys. Fire! Nice! There we go. It's definitely an improvement on what we had going before. That's as close as we can get. Come on, guys. Come on. They are reloading those weapons, that's for sure. But McCowan's cavalry's done an amazing job at keeping us back. And I can actually see more infantry arriving on that other side. We need a volley, boys. We need a volley. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And actually, look at that, guys. We have broken McCowan's cavalry. Glorious work there by the 1st Missouri Infantry. And that is a hell of a unit there. That's definitely a federal unit there, the 1st Missouri. Just the first established by the state. They've already lost 276 men. With only 499 left, they have absolutely seen the terror on this battlefield. And look at that line of rebels knocked down during this fight. I love it. Now, what we have to do for sure is we've got to redraw these battle lines. There's just no other way to do this because the Confederates are, of course, remassing here. So what I'm going to do, we have to take that location too if we can, and potentially this location, is I'm going to go ahead and set up here. So we're just getting on this side of the river. You know what? You know what? I think instead of that, maybe we should just stay on this side because we don't want to have to cross any water. If we do that, it's going to be easy for the enemy to avoid us. So we'll order this move. We've also got some reinforcements here under Siegel. So I'm going to have Siegel go ahead and capture this location first. And once he takes that location, we'll have him actually come in for the flank attack, and we will return to the fight. So I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I would love to see what the conclusion is here. Hopefully, it's going to be a federal victory. Get to it, boys. On the march. Medics, take the men to the surgery tent. Well, as we were moving into position, folks, the rebels advanced. So, of course, now many of our men are caught out here in the open. They've got to face, of course, these Confederates. What I'm going to try to do is actually send 2 infantry brigades back to assist here. We do have the uphill advantage. I'm hoping that's going to help. But, of course, Colonel Robert Mitchell's men are in a tough situation. Let's just have them open fire here. Currently, they aren't outflanked, at least. Well, they are outflanked over here. But not a total flank, so I'm going to see if they can't do some serious damage to the Rebs here. The Rebs getting the major shot. We sort of got a few shots off first. We did knock quite a few of them down, but I didn't get the first shot that I was hoping for. So I'm really hoping that that our infantry can help here. Also, why are we going to let that artillery take us out? Let's knock him out immediately. We're going to do the same here with our arty. Just start setting up, because the enemy is actually going to come and meet us here. I was under the impression we were going to have to go looking for them. There's just no way that's going to happen. Okay, boys, get set up. We're already getting some shots at them, although I don't like that. We've got some rebels firing at us already. And not many men over here on the right side. We do have some cavalry that I'm bringing over. I don't know how effective this cavalry is going to be, but we absolutely need their assistance. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. We got reinforcements on the way. It's going to take a little while, though. But we have completely knocked out the enemy artillery. And yes, micromanaging is going to be necessary on this particular part of the fight. So I'm going to push forward there, and look at that. We can actually get our artillery firing here. Let's have them firing at all of the Confederates on the other side of the river here. And hopefully relieve our men. There we go. Come on, guys. Get over here. We've got the 1st Kansas, guys. Even the Kansas boys are here to help us. And if they could just get into position quickly, we've got some nice flank attacks to carry out against the enemy. But unfortunately, in terms of actually getting to that location immediately without a fight, that's not going to happen. We can see all of the rebels moving over here. We do have to commit to this side of the river, that's for sure. But besides that, I'm not too sure what else to do. So let's bring this guy in. This is going to be Sturgis, of course, the cavalry commander. And I'm just going to order a charge forward. This is just to get into position quickly, of course. And it looks like we already broke one of the rebels' groups here. Let's take a look. See if I'm correct on that. Yes, look at that, guys. One of the rebels absolutely broken. Unfortunately, the same goes for the 2nd Kansas. But we're approaching with the rest of our men. And we're just going to try and overwhelm the enemy here. So I'll move him up here. Dietzler. Come on, Dietzler. And if we could just do some serious damage here, I think we could really get the 1st MSGI. The Missouri State Guard. So these are the guys that actually stole the weapons in Missouri. The guys that have, yeah, basically stole the weapons from the federal armaments area. Let's take them on. Looks like we got some enemy reinforcements, potentially cavalry. I just want to start getting that shot on the Missouri State Guard. Come on, boys. I don't know why it's taking them so damn long to fire. Come on. The guys are definitely not as prepared here for combat. Although the Missouri State Guard, see, their back was turned. And due to the fog of war, we did not get the shot. That's intense. That's certainly intense. We're gonna have to move forward here. Let's just go for a charge. I think we have no option here. We've got to get aggressive. As aggressive as possible. I'll readjust there because they did change their shot, so I'm going to readjust. And we really just need the supporting infantry here. Come on, supporting infantry. Push them right there, just forward, essentially. They've got the courier arriving, who's going to sort of realign that position. But I think they're okay. I mean, they're doing the best they can. As you can see, getting absolutely rattled by all of these Missouri State Guard units. Come on, get that infantry over there. Even better, since we're across a river, they won't try to charge us. But I have to say, this is the best fight the rebels have put up since we started playing this game. I'm actually quite impressed. Alright, we've actually got our cavalry arriving. What can they do here? Can they cause any trouble for the rebels? It would be nice if we could just cause some trouble on that right side. Ooh, look at that. So the rebels are falling back. Rives' cavalry is falling back. They don't want to be caught out here with us, that's for sure. Here we go. We've got another unit. And I'm going to try to charge right into the enemy here. I would like to get that woods bonus, but that's okay. I can live without it. So they're going to move up this way and then come back. The enemy maybe will be thinking, oh, that cavalry's going to leave. Maybe they'll get a little more aggressive here, and then we're going to move right in for the kill. Although it looks like they already fell back with the Missouri State Guard. Well played, I must say. Very well played. All right, here we go. Come on. Can we engage with one of these units? Yes, we can. Look at that. Perfect shot on the 1st Missouri State Guard. Perfect shot. They should be able to get that without issue. And the same with Du Bois Battery here. We should be able to fire at them without much of an issue. Here we go. Come on now. Don't let us down. We got some additional Missouri State Guard units right there. Good shooting. There we go. Fire! They're right in front of us, boys. That cavalry's on the way back for sure. Don't worry. Gonna do a little detour before he returns, but he will be returning. We just have to keep consistent fire on the enemy there. Let's take a look at the cavalry situation over here. And you know what? I think these guys can fight on foot. We're gonna start pushing forward here. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. Now they're absolutely charging. We've got a true fight going on here between the Kansas boys. Each one of them wanting to, of course, completely wipe the other out. I can't deny that. Come on. Come on, boys. Keep it up. Theodore Yates, what's taking you so long? That's one thing they have to fix in this game is the actual aiming and positioning. Like, these guys should absolutely be able to see the enemy here. There we go. There we go. Watch those rebels drop. So they actually trapped us here on this this tiny patch of land, but we managed to push them back. We managed to beat them at their own game here. I still think they have way too many men for us to win this battle, but we're not going to give up. Look at that. That's right. You knocked out some of our men. We're going to knock out some of yours. All mixed up there. Our blue bellies, their gray coats. They're just all mixed up here. And I'm going to fire now with the 2nd Missouri State Guard. We can make them regret ever taking the federal weapons. And it looks like our men even won the close combat fight here against the 3rd Missouri State Guard. So we have been crushing it, man, in terms of fighting against the MSG. The MSG. It's bad for my high blood pressure. But yeah, it's we've done an okay job here. Fire! Nice, right directly on top of them. You can see they can't charge up here because of this cliff face, but we are getting devastating shots on top of that unit. Just saw a bunch of them just fly up in the sky. Those are the kind of results we need for a victory here. Let's take a look. How's our cavalry doing? Yeah, it looks like they haven't really been able to engage anybody. The rebels are basically falling back to Edward's cabin. I think that's going to be their last stand. So we want to be as vicious as possible here. Fire! Here we go, and look at this. Our cavalry have returned. They're knocking out all of the retreating rebels. This is a bit vicious, but that's what they've done. I love it. I'm going to keep on moving forward with the cavalry. In fact, if they can fire from here, if they can stop and fire, I'll have them do that. But I think this is a good enough approach. Look at that clump of rebels that we've got there. We just need to keep them in place and move the Union forces even closer. So we want to just be firing directly on top of these guys. And look at that. They're going to go in for a charge for sure. Oh, maybe not. They're actually setting up for a good old-fashioned volley. But we've got this group nicely guarded, let's say. And this could turn into a close combat fight at any moment. And in fact, I think it just did. Come on, boys. Don't let them get any reinforcements. They outnumber us. We've got to start dropping their numbers. There we go. Consistent fire on all sides. And these are the proper home guards. The Union home guards here. Some of them did decide to stay. Not all of them joined the Confederacy, of course. Oh, baby. I'm going to just redraw a line here. Just make sure that we are charging. That is a charge into the enemy lines. Come on, boys, for the Union! The Home Guards! There we go. Corporal Wright with his Home Guards, guys, moving forward. We've got some artillery arriving on scene. I love it. Here we go. Now, it doesn't look like they're attacking, but they are. We can tell by the swinging sabers. And look at that. I can see a lot of commotion amongst the Confederate line, but also amongst our own Federal line. It looks like one of our infantry units, the 1st Kansas, did fall back. Absolutely fell back. The rest of our men are still in combat here with the rebels. And this side of Edward's cabin, this side of the river, has turned into a total bloodbath for both sides, let's face it. Yeah! Let's see what's going on here. And what do you know? We've got Confederates right there. Let's turn around and face them. They do the same thing with this arty unit here. It's just pretty much set them up in this location immediately because the rebels are trying to push that location with everything they've got. We're really mostly focused over here. Alright, look at that. Look at that. Tremendous amounts of rebels running. It looks like our cavalry are carrying out the attack. We're continuing to carry on the attack. I love it. Let's keep this up. We've turned this into a massacre for all the retreating Confederates. Unfortunately, as we saw in the beginning of the battle, the enemy outnumbers us. I think it's still going to be very tough to beat them here, because even though we've crushed this group, they still have plenty of groups roaming the map here, larger groups, that could probably cause us a lot of grief. There we go. That's what I like to see. Some of our cavalry returning fire here. Just fire, boys. Let them have it. Let them have it. We absolutely need some infantry to offset that. And finally, they broke our cavalry units there. Did force the cavalry to fall back. I'm amazed that those guys actually stuck around as long as they did, the home guards. And put up a decent fight as well, I must give it to them. Alright, let's send our infantry here. He's going to have to defend the existing artillery we have, of course. Enemy's going to try to push on that location. Let's take a look and see what our reinforcements are doing. So unfortunately, our reinforcements are really quite a ways off. Maybe we go this way, the long way, and try to take that location. Man. And I think we have to put the pressure on the enemy. I am going to keep on moving. This is all we have over here. Of course, a lot of our men breaking, so it might come down to that last unit. No matter what happens, we're going to put up a heroic fight. Keep it up, keep it up. I'm glad to see the arty is also firing here. And I'm going to go for a charge. What better way to use our cavalry than to go for a charge here? I like that our men are getting into position before their Confederates could, of course, attack this location. And it looks like the 2nd Missouri State Guard is now running as well. Looking pretty good for us. We just have to worry about 2nd Division. But the Missouri State Guard has been routed, I believe. On both sides, which is pretty creepy. Here we go. Yes, we did break one of the Confederate units. Burridge's infantry with that cavalry charge. See, you've got to trust in your cavalry. Sometimes it works. It really does. Not always, but sometimes. And look at that, chasing him downhill. Yeah, the enemy is completely being chased downhill here. Lead on into them. Don't stop. Go, go, go. We'll let our boys take them. Just go for it. Now, of course, they stopped here at the tree line and are opening fire on the advancing enemy units. I think that's exactly what we need to be doing. Excellent job here. At this point, our last hope, if I have to be completely honest, our last hope is going to be this unit, or, yeah, well, this unit right here, coming down and flanking the enemy. But I think it's looking pretty bad for our guys. It's not one of our winning fights. We've had a lot of winning fights here. It's about time we got a loss, perhaps. And look at that. Even from the cover of the trees here, our boys are getting great shots on the existing enemy down here. I love it. I love how much they're putting into this fight. Let's set up here a bit of micromanaging. Firing downhill at them. There are plenty more of them. But the idea here is to sow panic and discord amongst the enemy forces. Discourse, I should say. Beautiful. If we had time, we could could have gotten into the build options, maybe built some trenches to withstand the enemy attack, but we just didn't have that time. We kind of had to keep on moving. Right now it's looking like a minor defeat. I'd rather we get a victory, of course. Look at that. With the enemy just walking through here, retreating, our artillery, we're turning them into absolute mush. It amazes me. I'm also going to push this artillery unit forward. Great work, guys. Great work by the 1st U.S. Cavalry. They did have to fall back, unfortunately, but I think they did a tremendous job there. And it is a defeat. The morale of our troops is cracked. I was hoping we'd get an action report there. The enemy fire is accurate and effective. My company suffered badly, and my ability to continue could get more humble soon. Morale is confident with unbearable casualties. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And it looks like Canfield was wounded here. Luckily, we didn't lose any generals. But I was hoping for a detailed battle report, and maybe I just haven't pressed the right stuff here. Nonetheless, guys, there we go. The Battle of Edwards Creek. I was really hoping for some more specific dispatch logs with exact casualties. Nonetheless, I thought it was a very fun fight there. I thought we gave the rebels a run for their money, especially over here at the island, I like to call it. It's not really an island. It just kind of looks like one from afar. But nonetheless, the rebels did win the day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I always love feedback on this game, and I do think it's improving. Thank you, guys.